Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. This is episode 307. How did I do this? There we go. That'll work. Watch out. Make sure we don't have creepers. Alright, episode 307. There's a creeper of Far Lands or Bust. We are walking to the Far Lands in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. We are taking our companion, Wolfie McWolfington, with us, and we are raising money for Child's Play charity in the process over at farlandsorbust.com. Of course, today is Thursday, October 17th, 2013. Not your normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for Far Lands or Bust. Let's grab this tree while we're at it, because tomorrow, Friday, the MindCrack crew are doing a 48-hour live stream for Child's Play charity and subsequently for the goal of Far Lands or Bust. Like I said, that starts tomorrow, Friday, October 18th, 2013 at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 2 p.m. Central Time and noon Pacific Time. Do the conversions yourselves, of course, as always. But that is happening, so that's why I've staggered the Far Lands or Bust episodes, because, let's be honest, with an event like that coming up, I do understand that you will be holding on to your pennies, your donation amounts, in order to participate in that. And because of that, we raise $1. $1 more since the last episode. We're at $47,268.31. We're trying to get $100,000 this season. This is season 4 of Far Lands or Bust. The MindCrack Marathon is starting with a brand new Child's Play charity widget at $0. And that way we'll be able to tally up what we've raised throughout the weekend. But then that amount will be rolled into the Far Lands or Bust widget. And obviously get us a lot closer to the $100,000 season goal this season. So that's amazing. And I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and also, I suppose I should say, there might be some background noise in this video. A little bit of a old man Kurt J. Mac shaking his fists out the windows. I was woken up at 7:45 this morning by the soothing sounds of concrete saws and jackhammers right outside my window. For reasons beyond my grasp, there's a crew outside ripping up random spots of the sidewalk. You know, sidewalks, I don't know how, I'm assuming sidewalks work the same everywhere. They're made out of concrete. They have, you know, they're normally little square patterns. They have little lines, but they're just going around, and it's not just like one or two. They're ripping up significant chunks of the sidewalk, and I take walks. I've been taking walks around my neighborhood more and more recently, trying to be healthy, trying to take some time away from sitting in front of my computer, despite how comfortable and ergonomic my space chair is. I've never been walking around on the sidewalk and thought, hey ho, there's a Grand Canyon in front of me. This is dangerous. They should perhaps replace this entire sidewalk. I don't know what the purpose of what they're doing is, and there's large chunks. They're like ripping out the entire cement cube by cube thing, and it's been going on. It just past noon my time, and like I said, 7:45 in the morning is when this started. And jackhammers are not especially, let's say, therapeutic to the normal rhythms of your brain waves, and they can slowly drive you insane. There's been a break in the jackhammers, which is why I'm starting to record, but these episodes last 35 minutes. So if at any time the jackhammers start up again, I apologize. There's also they got one of those Bobcat diggers that are scooping up all the cement and putting them into a dump truck. I don't know what is going on. I don't understand. I'm assuming somebody Somebody sold somebody else an outrageous deal saying, "Well, there's a little crack in this sidewalk. You gotta replace that, or in 600 million years, it's going to eventually corrode down and be a new Grand Canyon." So, I don't get it. Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But hey, it's happening. I have to deal with it. I do not record these episodes in a soundproof recording studio, unfortunately. As you're already well aware of my previous background noise inclusions of the neighbor's garage door and other such things. So we're dealing with it. So I apologize if my brain sounds a little bit like off kilter today. It's because it's like doing this all the time because it's been constantly shaken by the sounds and piercing rhythm of a concrete jackhammer and, you know, air pressure jackhammer, air hammer. I don't know what they're called. I'm sure they're called some, you know, people in the UK call flashlight torches, so I don't know what they call a jackhammer, but the thing with the spike that repeatedly burrows into cement and breaks it into many little pieces, that thing is what's going on. Ooh. Pillars! Let's see if we can do this. I don't think there's anything... Okay, yeah, we can do this. Yep. We did it! Wolfie is going the long way. So yeah, apologies for that. It is what it is. Woof, indeed. So now, that segment, old man Kurt J. Mack shaking his fist, telling the kids to get off his lawn, is moving onward, and like I said, the MindCrack Marathon for Charity, we are holding that at Twitch TV/MindCrack Network. However, we would prefer that you watch from a special website we have set up. Has the same video feed and Twitch chat, but it also has the live Child's Play charity widget, because you can't, in an update that they did, you can't embed donation widgets on Twitch TV anymore. So we're doing that on the website. We've also integrated, or are in the process of integrating and hoping they get integrated in time, little scripts that will allow you to, when you donate, do I have a boat? I do. $20 or more, you automatically are able to, you know, in giving, hey, get back here, boat. In giving us your Minecraft username, you get added to the whitelist of this whitelist server that MC Pro Hosting has set up for us very graciously, that, of course, us, the Mindcrackers, will be hanging out on. There's creative mode, there's survival mode, there's King of the Ladder, arenas and things like that. So that's really exciting. So that is what, you know, another reason why you want to be watching from the website. It's going to be at mindcracklp.com. It's not live yet, but we'll remind everybody as the stream happens. But yes, like I said, tomorrow, Friday, the 18th, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I have to look at the schedule, but I believe I have that first slot, that first opening time slot, along with Good will be joining me and everybody else who's there. And then in 2-3 hour chunks is when we hand over the stream to somebody else. And maybe we will be able to post more of a definitive schedule on that website once we get it up and running. Where did you come from, sir? Is it just dark enough underneath that tree? Well, good day. Good day to you. Excuse me, Wolfie. I don't know why you're blocking me from going forward. Yeah. MindCrack Marathon. Indeed. I want to thank, speaking of farlandsbus.com, which I don't think I'm going to redirect there, but I'll put a big banner up and say, hey, this is happening right now, just for anybody who happens to visit farlandsbus.com. But I wanted to thank really quickly Dan for providing me with a script that will automatically include and update the current episode of Farlands or Bust on the homepage of farlandsorbust.com. That was something for the last 2 years I've been doing manually, by manually going in and editing the HTML file to include the latest episode. And sometimes I forget, and that happened a lot, honestly, not just sometimes, but come on, Wolfie, there we go. And then it wouldn't be updated, so this should happen automatically now. So thank you very much, Farlander Dan. His YouTube channel is youtube.com/bettercoder. It's a very succinct and appropriate channel name, my friend. Well done. Well done on securing that one. So, indeed, I feel like... Boop. Boop. Wolfie. Wolfie. Whoa, Wolfie, don't push me off. I feel like I might need to take this episode as a little bit of a recap, talking about Far Lands or Bust, bringing people up to speed, because there might be a bunch of people who find out about Far Lands or Bust throughout the weekend of the MindCrack Marathon, so I think I'm going to do that. Also, I'm a little bit low on questions that are easy to answer because we haven't been getting as many donations in these last couple weeks, which is fine. I totally expected that, but I think I'm going to take some time to recap. I don't think I have any new news beyond what I just mentioned about MindCrack Marathon, so for those of you who have heard this spiel many times before, feel free to enjoy it once again at your leisure. But let's go to sleep, and we'll do that in the morning. And awakeness. And since we have a spare pork chop, I will feed one to Wolfie to get him full up on health. But yes, indeed, Far Lands or Bust. I started this series back in March of 2011. I just started it as a normal Let's Play. For the first 11 episodes or so, I was simply playing the game. I built a little house. I was exploring, but I was starting to feel a little bit bored. I felt like I needed to do something a little bit different to differentiate myself from the other Let's Plays out there. And stuff that was going on. I was having fun. I was learning how to do this. I was recording with a crummy headset and editing in Windows Movie Maker. But it was about the time that Notch wrote about the terrain generation and the Far Lands. The Far Lands being after 12 million some odd blocks away from 0, in any direction, the terrain generator gets royally screwed up. And you get solid vertical walls and upside down, inside out terrain. It's really quite amazing. But that's way far out there. In addition to things like the float point precision inaccuracy. As you can see, excuse me, Wolfie, the little black pixel border, that is the block selection border, is way off. That is because as our XY coordinate gets bigger and bigger, the decimal place moves over and over, and you lose accuracy. And that's basically just the game. The floating point, as it moves over, is not specifically knowing where I'm at to precision. And that will only get worse and worse as the number gets bigger and bigger, as we add more powers of 10, although it's more complicated than that, being 8-bit, 32-bit, those bits have not multiples of 10, I guess. But, as we continue to round up, the accuracy gets less and less accurate, which is why we have not only the block selection off, but also many people notice the jitteriness, especially when I'm walking at a diagonal on two axes, the X and Y at the same time. You really notice the block jitteriness. That's not lag. Having a faster computer would not fix that, or anything like that, or lower resolution, or anything, or not recording. That's not lag. That would happen anywhere. It's just a mathematical constant. It cannot be escaped, and it cannot be fixed. Even in the current versions of the game, there's still evidence, very clear evidence, that this is still an issue. It's just something that happens. However, in current versions of the game, in version 1.8 beta and beyond, they updated the terrain generation and the Far Lands. The actual observable Far Lands with the solid walls and things like that were removed. So that is why this I'm still playing in Minecraft beta 1.7.3 have not updated. That is why I don't have a hunger bar, why I cannot sprint. This is not an enchanted sword, despite many people's confusion. It is simply a texture pack, which there's a link in the video description that explains the texture pack made by a very early fan of Far Lands or Bust. Axis1 is very helpful in creating this texture pack, and he has been updating it for current versions of the game as well. Basically just adds little things like Wolfie has his 3D glasses on, and a blue collar. Obviously, you couldn't change the color of the collars in this version of the game, and the trees have some sort of more than just green leaves, little autumn colors and random things like that, and the background textures, Far Lands or Bust on the inventory and stuff like that, and the beds say Flob. So yeah, that's kind of... I kind of went off on a tangent. I said I started in March 2011, but then I started talking about the game itself. At about episode 11, I decided, you know what? I would like to walk to the Far Lands. I had no idea how far they were. If I did, maybe I wouldn't have decided to do that. So I decided to just head off west, in a westwardly direction, just an idea that I came up with at the time. And in episode 11, I set off and started walking. And a lot of things have changed since then. I think we started walking. It was still 1.5, beta 1.5. They had added beds, but they didn't reset your spawn point. So in those early days, I guess there wasn't much at risk because we were so close to spawn still. But in those early days, I could sleep through the night, but my spawn was still back at the original spawn. That is where a compass always points, is back to your original spawn. But now they actually fixed that in 1.7.3, and that is why I make hidey holes every night, just in case if I do die, and I have to leave the bed, that way it acts as a spawn point. If I do die, then I don't get sent all the way back to the spawn point, the original spawn point, 00-ish. I can actually respawn at the previous bed. A little bit of security there. I have not, however, in the past 2.5 years, died in this world. I've come close many, many times, even recently, but not ever died. What else is going on there? Oh, in June 2011 is where I decided, you know what, I think that is when I started to realize how far away, and people were informing me how long it would take me to reach the Far Lands. So I'm like, you know what? This could take a long time. We have to keep it interesting. We have to give it some actual purpose. So that's when I decided to start the fundraiser for Child's Play charity. That first goal was $820, which was based on if this was a super flat world and if you held W constantly. It's been estimated by the people on the Minecraft wiki and things that it would take a player, based on how many meters per second a player walks, it would take the player 820 hours of constant walking on a super flat world to reach the Far Lands, which just kind of became a little bit of a number that we've seen many times here in Far Lands or Bust. So that first goal was $820. You guys reached that in less than a week, which I was not expecting. So then I upped the ante to $8,200, and we raised that and had the first Far Lands or Bust live stream in November. Yeah, I believe it was the week or two prior to the first Minecon in November 2011 when I did the first live stream. And at the end of the live stream, I finally pressed F3, which gave me the coordinates, and the coordinates after that first 6 months of walking to the Far Lands was 292,202, 292,000 blocks from spawn. The next season, I made the goal $29,220 based on that number, and we reached that the following August and did a 3-day, 24-hour live stream. It was 8 hours a day, and at the end of that, not only did we have a mishap where we lost Wolfie due to a glitch, he didn't die or anything. I actually took a break, left the game, and came back, and he had disappeared. We lost Wolfie, which was a sad thing indeed, but we continued on, and after pressing F3 at the end of that night, we found we were at 699,492. So just shy of 700,000 blocks from spawn. And then, at the beginning of this Season 4, if you go back, if you want to look at the playlists, we had an expedition to go rescue Wolfie. I invoked the hidey hole paradox, another kind of thing that has come out of Far Lands or Bust. The hidey hole paradox is where you load a previous world save, but you don't overwrite the current world, which means I spawned at a hidey hole previous to where I was at, but all the land had been generated in front of me, so I could see all of the hidey holes upcoming and stuff like that. It still keeps the game vanilla. I'm not using any mods or teleportation, anything to enhance or increase my speed at reaching the far lands. It's just kind of a fun thing. Went back, we grabbed the previous iteration of Wolfie, and then walked back. So it was kind of an epic journey, kind of a cool thing that happened. And we've been walking ever since. So we have been doing Season 4 for over a year. The $100,000 goal, maybe a bit of a stretch, but that's why we're holding the MindCrack Marathon this weekend, is to give the MindCrack bump to the Far Lands or Bust Child's Play charity goal. And so I can anticipate, if our last F3 moment was 699,492, we've been walking and we've had almost twice the episodes this season. It's your guess where we're at. There was a marked point a while ago, maybe back in May or something like that, where I was walking and I noticed it flipped like a switch, where the block jitter and the percent at which the selection box was off seems to increase just instantly. So that it has been estimated that was a threshold I passed where the point, the decimal, moved one spot to the right. And people made assumptions about where I was based on that and calculations and whatnot. This is a really cool kind of cliff face. You rarely get them quite as just out of nowhere like this. There's like a nice, easy, gentle plains biome, and all of a sudden, bam! Cliff faces. Very cool. I like this. This would be a cool place to make like a castle or something into the walls, or carving or something like that. But alas, I'm not a builder, and we don't have the patience. We are explorers. We are adventurers. We are walkers to the Farlanders. Woof! Wolfie agrees. He has no time to explore this place, so let's go to sleep and continue walking in the morning. Sorry, I had to take a little drink of water. Whew. Talking a lot. Wolfie knows. So yeah, I don't press, you know, new people ask, press F3, see how far you are. That'd be really interesting. That is the reward for us reaching our Child's Play charity fundraiser goals. So I will not press F3 until we raise this season $100,000. Perhaps I was overstretching the goal early on, I don't know, but we set it and we have to stick with it. And I will not press F3 until we do that. People have asked what will happen if during the MindCrack live stream we raise more than what is left over from the Far Lands or Bust total. And when we roll over what we raise in the MindCrack Marathon, blah, I say that 10 times fast. If we do raise, it would have to be 52,742 something in order to then match $100,000 for us. I'm not going to right away press F3, and I'm not going to right away schedule a Far Lands or Bust live stream. That would be madness, because this has been scheduling this thing and trying to set this thing up is quite the adventure in and of itself. So I need a break, and with Minecon around the corner, if that does happen, I'm not anticipating it to happen. It would be cool if it did, but I'm not anticipating that to happen. But if it did, there would still have to be a bit of a buffer I would need between then. Maybe we would do it as like a New Year's thing. People asked if I would do some sort of live flobathon at Minecon. They're not really set up for that, and I want to do it more for everybody, not just the people at Minecon. That doesn't seem fair at all. And I don't want to depend on what facilities they have or internet connection or anything like that. So I'd rather do that right than do that hastily, I suppose. So yeah, that's where that cookie crumbles. Obviously, with all this, what else do I want to talk about? Yes, I've had Wolfie since like episode 32, I believe, when they added wolves to the game, and he's just sort of become a mascot, a companion, as opposed to taking this journey alone. Now he's on t-shirt. He has his own t-shirt, actually, at the Farland Spreadshirt Shop, and stuff like that. Oh yeah, my skin, I suppose I should explain. People don't see it that often, but it is the 10th Doctor, David Tennant from Doctor Who, of course. Oh, that doesn't work in this version of the game. shift clicking. You gotta manually put on your armor. That is what I've been using, so that's why the 3D glasses are a thing. It's you know, I actually started the series using the 11th Doctor skin, but I really didn't like it too much. I thought it was too plain, and then I found this skin made by Omnizod. I believe is the original creator of this version. There's many David Tennant skins out there, but of this version of the David Tennant skin, there's also a different version that I have as well. Omnizod created this, and I really liked it because of the 3D glasses and the Converse. I wear Converse myself, so that's why I've been keeping with this one since then. What else? What else? What else? I don't press F3. I don't press F3 away from the camera either. Like, I'm just as surprised whenever we're going to press F3 as you guys will be. Trying to think. I always do forget something. Like a very common question that people ask, and I always forget it. The sword, Wolfie, the texture pack. This is Minecraft Beta 173. Of course, the full release version of Minecraft 1.7 is currently in snapshots, so that's going to be confusing. Where's Wolfie? Oh, I was gonna say, there he is. Teleport. Oh, people ask, and I suppose this is a question I did get in the donations. When you do give a donation, you can leave a comment, and I will see that, and that's where I can get a lot of these questions, where I have things to talk about. RC Fetish asked, explain the progression and building of your computer. Include the computer. They have like requirements to this question. What is this, like a essay question? Include the computer you had when you started Farlands or Bust and how it progressed through the years. Must be in sentence form and at least 3 paragraphs long. I do have on farlandsorbust.com a page of FAQs, frequently asked questions. Included in that is what is Child's Play charity, who the heck I am, what are the Farlands, and also my computer specifications. So you can check that out there. I don't know. I built the computer. You know, it's really not a progression. It took less than a day. I built my previous computer as well. I kept the same computer case, which actually it's starting to show its age because it doesn't quite have all of the fittings and it isn't quite as large as a lot of the graphics cards have become these days. So I think with the next computer I build, I'll have to get a different case, but I have an Antec P182 case. Very nice, quiet case. But, you know, I did a lot of research. I don't buy, like, the latest and the greatest. I always buy, like, a generation previous because you're still getting, you know, okay, maybe you're missing out on 10, 15% performance increase, but you're still getting high performance stuff, tested stuff. You know, when you buy the new stuff, there always might be problems with drivers or stuff that they just don't realize, and they still have to patch yet. There's that. So I did that. You know, it's all new stuff on the inside. New motherboard, new power supply, new hard drives. Well, actually, some of the hard drives I was able to just take from the old computer, obviously. You know, it's kind of hard to explain the progression of the build of my computer. I was going to record and upload myself doing that as one of the milestones last season, but that fell through, unfortunately. But it's been going fine. I was previously getting a bunch of random blue screens, but that has resolved itself. I think it had something to do with the backup software I was using at the time. But so far, so good. For the last 3 months, 2 or 3 months or so, that's been okay. But yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about it. I've, over the years, increased my recording capabilities. I have a nice microphone, a Rode Procaster microphone, and a nice headset from, who makes my headphones? These are, I'm trying to look for the box. Hold on, I'm going to actually look at them. AKG headphones. I knew it's some, like, acronym. I just couldn't remember. Woo! The tree is floating and is larger than the ground upon which it stands. Wow, that is a giant floating tree. Cool. And yes, I'm not... Oh, here's something to answer. People always ask why... Kurt, just take the nether. It goes 8 times as fast. Right, but it's about 20 times more boring and dangerous. I don't take the nether because I'm not trying to get to the far lands as quickly as possible. I do enjoy, one of the reasons I believe, maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong, one of the reasons I believe people tend to like this series is because it is a bit nostalgic for a lot of people who have been playing the game since the early alpha days and beta days, that this is the old style of terrain generation, stuff like that happens, and it's a little bit nostalgic to experience the true, it just feels truly like random terrain generation, whereas now with the biomes and those rule sets, it feels a little bit more scripted, I suppose. You can still find some amazing stuff, obviously, but this truly feels quite random indeed. And that's one of the reasons why I stick in the overworld. Obviously, also since getting Wolfie, he can't come to the Nether, so we don't want to leave Wolfie behind. I did go to the Nether for episode 200 as a special thing, and that is where I grabbed netherrack and glowstone. I'm going to make some glowstone lamps, not lamps, they don't exist in this version of the game, but just glowstone cubes, blocks. Whoa, that's a healthy drop. No, that's, I'm not, no, Wolfie, no, all right, let's go down the side here, oh god. I'm gonna bring those to the next time I press F3. I always build a monument, a tower, to commemorate the F3 moment. So I'm bringing that to the next one. I did not realize it was going to take me another 100 episodes, and now we're on episode 307, but it's a thing that happened. All right, let's go over there where there's less shrubberies, because these trees like to hide creepers, and I have a few times been surprised and nearly blown to smithereens when I wake up and I'm greeted by a creeper at my doorstep. So alright, we're going over here on the final sunset of this episode. Let's build a full-size underground hidey hole. Wolfie! Ooh, that's some interesting. Have a light. I don't smoke, he says. So let's build the final hidey hole here. I believe, and I hope, that has been a proper bringing up to speed to those of you who might be new to Far Lands or Bust. Perhaps some of you have recently joined us from hearing about Far Lands or Bust. Is that? No, okay, that's fine. Far Lands or Bust from the MindCrack Marathon. I certainly appreciate you supporting and checking that out, and then coming over here to check this out. Hopefully you stick around and subscribe, maybe. Subscribe. And become a Farlander yourself, and I appreciate everybody's continued support for Child's Play charity. They help get toys, books, and games to kids in hospitals around the world. Great cause. Gamers give back is the tagline, so it's very cool to be involved with them. Let's make a boat here, but it is actually going to be a few days until the next Far Lands or Bust. And like I said, join us for MindCrack Weekend, 48 hours straight, hopefully, of MindCrack members live streaming, raising money for Child's Play charity. We have auctions, where we have like signatures from Minecons past, and things to give away that you need to be there to check out at various times, and you can just donate and also get on that whitelist for the whitelist server. And play with some of us on the live stream and stuff like that at certain points, and hopefully goes off. I'm imagining some hitches. I'm not going to say without a hitch, but minor hitches, with minor hitches perhaps, and I will be a happy person. And I appreciate you guys tagging along, Thank you very much. Whoa, that was loud. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Spoiler!